I moved from Philadelphia to Los Angeles in 2012. And there were two things that I missed most, and would usually be my first stop when landing on visits back. It was either that East Coast style Chinese food. It's just totally different than the Americanized Chinese food on the West Coast, and the other, Tony Luke's roast pork Italian. It's a sandwich with sharp provolone, broccoli rabe, roast pork. I'm also going to do long hots. So that starts by making a pork stock. These are fresh ham hocks, pork neck bones. These are going to roast in the oven for about half an hour. Oven is preheated to 425. Also going to use some peppercorns, bay leaves, 3 cloves of garlic. I'm going to chop some carrots roughly. Instead of celery, use some fennel. Pairs really nicely with pork. Save some of this. Got sage, rosemary, thyme. Onion. Now, once the pork in the oven is nicely browned and roasted, I'll add that and about a gallon of water to this pot, and that is going to start our pork stock, which is going to cook for about 8 hours. Once the pork stock's done, we'll make pork shoulder. So that's going to be our next step. And then that's going to chill overnight and then reheat in the juice from baking, from roasting the pork shoulder and the stock. And it's going to reheat there. I'm also going to make the broccoli rabe long hot sides. So this is a recipe that takes probably a little more than 2 days. So plan ahead, and it's very well worth it. Pork has browned pretty nicely. I'm gonna add it in with the vegetables. About a gallon of water. Bring it up to a boil, and again let it simmer for about 8 hours. Pork stock's coming to a nice boil. So now we're going to lower the heat to low, let it simmer for about 8 hours. I'm making a wet rub for the pork shoulder that's going to cook. And here I have crushed red pepper, fennel seeds, oregano, black pepper. Also have a little more of that fennel. Some of it went into the stock. Half of an onion. Exactly 10 cloves of garlic. Some fresh sage. Rosemary, thyme. Time for the main event. This is a 4.5 pound pork shoulder. I'm gonna let it marinate with this wet rub we made. There's also a little bit of olive oil on the bottom. Massage this in. I'll let it sit for a couple of hours and let the flavors get in. Pork has been marinating for a couple of hours. Now it goes into a 425-degree oven, middle rack, uncovered, for 40 minutes. Then we're gonna add pork stock and let it braise for another 2 hours. This is what the stock will look like when it's done. I'm gonna strain it, add it to the roast pork. Pour the stock over, turn the oven down to 350. And that's gonna go for about 2 more hours. Pork is out of the oven. Check it. Temperature. And it's done. Gonna let it rest a little bit. Wrap it in foil. Once it cools off, put it in the refrigerator to chill. Slice tomorrow. The 2 toppings for this sandwich are going to be broccoli rabe, also called rapini. These are not terribly hard to find. And then for long hots, closest I could find is Anaheim chilies. These are just going to get tossed in olive oil, salt, and pepper, and roasted in the oven at 425 until lightly brown. These, I'm going to cut the ends off and then cut them in half, blanch them for 2 minutes, and then drain them, saute them with some 5 cloves of chopped garlic, crushed red pepper, salt and pepper. This is the part we're going to discard. I'm going to cut them in half like this. And you put them into the water, put the stems in first usually, let those get submerged because they do take a little bit longer to cook. And then for this, I'm just gonna toss them with some olive oil, salt and pepper. Let the broccoli rabe cook in well-salted water for about 2 minutes. This gets the bitterness out and makes it nice and soft for a sandwich. This is what you want your long hots looking like, and take them out and put them in a separate plate. Got the string out of the pork, got some baguette cut up, just slice some sharp provolone. It does make a difference compared to the mild. And then here's the broccoli rabe and long hots. So now time to slice the pork. Scooped out some in the middle. First thing we're going to do is put some of that sharp provolone on both sides. I'm just going to let the hot pork melt it. Broccoli rabe. One of these long hots just whole. There you have it. Roast pork Italian. Worthy of a first stop after landing in Philadelphia.